Hey y'all, as promised, I made it back. Wow, I've been working. Uh, I got everything pre-drilled. I'm gonna flip this camera and we're gonna go through this and we're gonna glue and screw this because it's all laid out. And all in all, it looks great. Happy with it being square. And I'm going to get to the point really quick on what I've done here. So here we go. That's set up. That's set up. I'm just making sure that when I get started, I don't gotta stop. Let me find this and let me find that. Because, as I said, I got the little mini phone holder too, so this should be a lot better. Like I said, it's hard without a cameraman, and there's no way I'm doing this one-handed. Uh, Here we go. As you know, we're using the 3-inch deckmate screws. And here, let me flip this. Yeah, is there anything else I need to say before I flip this? I'm looking, boom, got that. Got the screws right, got the screws right, okay. My glue, make sure my glue's uncapped. I'm not fumbling this time. Yeah, we're good. The top's open, alright, we're good. Now, I have a way of doing layouts where I like the screws to be reasonably uniform when they're laid out. As long as it's fired down good, that's what really matters. And I did say that when I'm in the other video that there was a little bow, so we're going to fix that as well. Let me flip this camera around and we'll go to the layout because we're going to glue it. We're going to, sorry, screen just wigged out on me. There we go. With the tight bond, really good stuff. Waterproof, exterior, pretty reasonable priced. And I'm using deck screws on this, which are exterior, and this is an interior job. So, all in all, there's some fairly good quality. Let me flip this around and quit running my mouth. There we go. And it's not flipping. Hold on. There we go. And it flipped. Well, there's what we got laid out so far. And, oh man, I forgot to move the corn chips. Yeah, I've been snacking. Two devices. Let me get those out of the way. Before I get them full of sawdust. Stuff that got files on and listen to and stuff like that. Alright. I've figured out how I wanted the wood pattern already. This is all marked out. And I figured out how the boards are going to lay. And all in all, for rough furniture, it's pretty good. I got some sawdust down there. The camera probably is not picking up, but that's about the most thing I could pick on against what's going on so far. It could be just a little cleaner, but I'm hurrying, and we're going to get this done today. So, on the layout, as you see, right here, there's a reason that doesn't have a screw, because there's a screw going that way. On the side in the earlier video, that's one of those 3-inch screws that I'm using that were also going to be used for screwing this down. So when we did the layout, we started over here, and then right there, and that's enough to miss that screw going in. And that's just how I did this layout. There's a lot of different ways. It's about 3 3/4 spacing on the back side right here, and it's about 2 and change, almost 3 inches going that way, just about. And yeah, I don't think you need precise measurements. That was the plan. And what we're going to do is we're going to get the glue on both sides. We're going to put the glue here and put the glue here. Both sides. As you know, I didn't bother to do this section because I didn't tape it off. I just went ahead and stained the board. I didn't think it would be necessary with those screws that far apart. If that don't hold, it, forget about it. And with that being said, I'll show you the screws. This is the bit I'm using. It has a chamfering right on the bit. Back in the day, that's really special because I remember having to drill and just have a chamfering bit and having 2 different drills, one to drill, one to chamfer, one to drill, one to chamfer. Other than that, you had to clamp it down, drill all the holes, and flip to the chamfering bit. And yeah, it's pretty time consuming. These definitely, we've come a long way, some stuff to do. That stuff might have been around back then. It's just that that was money and people weren't spending it. Yeah. let me set up this camera so you can watch me lay this stuff in. It's pretty basic. A little bit more exciting than watching paint dry, but you know how that goes. Let me move this up out the way. I should have moved my putty knife already. There we go. Above that Swiss Tack, I love that charger right there, the battery pack. Here's the little thing that I'm holding. It's holding the phone. I forgot I had that. I had it put up. Covered up, put up, whatever you want to call it. Let me, sorry getting my hand in the way. Let me see. I can, yeah. First one. Yeah. It looks like that might do it some justice. I really do apologize. I got this camera's kind of hard to see here. Well, let me see my hand. Oh no. That needs to go back a little further. Alright. There we go. There's the edge we'll be working on, and there's the other one. I think that makes enough sense. Yeah. So, let's get this party started. Move the corn chips. And because we got the back side right here, I told you it's got just a little wiggle in it. Not bad, but some. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my glue in here, and I'm going to set my clamps here. I'm going to fire down this side, and then we're going to work this way, and then I'll pull it down. And with that being said, let's get her done. Put that off. I'm not going to go crazy on the glue because I don't want it running all down the sides and stuff. I've seen some guys say they glue it up. It really ain't that much. A little of this stuff goes a long ways. I've seen some uneven stuff that they use it on, but they put a lot of glue to fill the cap. But as you can see, there might be some people out there that want to argue with me, but my biggest thing is get it on there. How I was taught to get it on there. Please tell me I brought my rag with me. I got something close. No, I got the other one, but well, it looks like I didn't tell the truth. I need to go hunt something. I have it right here already cut. I'll just cut another one, ain't no problem. I'll just set my fancy rags. Oh, there it is. It was under my fancy one. There it is. It's what I used earlier. So what I do is you'll see it better than the other one. I smear it out a little bit, and I give it a chance to soak in. Just get a little penetration on, because that glue running all over the place, that's ridiculous. I've seen some guys lay some glue before. Not that you won't get a little rum, but man, that stuff shouldn't be all over the place. What a waste. You get it down on anything, but even this is a little bit more than I like to lay. So that's what we're going to do with that, is we're going to turn, oops, I dropped that glue right on there. We're going to drop some of this right here, and we're going to let that glue suck up into that wood a little bit. There we go. Little side. This is how I keep from having to wipe off a bunch of glue. Now, there's some people up there that might say, yeah, but your penetration ain't there. I don't know. I got a pretty good bit right on this side right here. And by the time I smear down this other side, this will have tacked up. So it's kind of building the tacky surface is what you want to make the glue work. Let me take this other side. Yeah. As that sets in there, you'll feel it get a little more tacky. And like I said, this is for the voice beginners, man, who might be trying to do this, and I don't know what knowledge you're on, because I am not trying to tell somebody that has a wood shop what to do, that builds cabinets and all that stuff. That is not what this is about. This is pretty well a backyard video that was done with the backyard video with a skill saw. It was a worm drive. All this flooring and all this stuff was made by hand with a worm drive saw, putting the straight edge on to push through a table saw. And there we go. It's starting to tack up pretty good. It ain't going to be running all over the place, because it's thin. Man, a big old thick layer, a big old glob. You know, that's the biggest thing I tell anyone. Now, I've seen some big glue jobs where, yeah, man, beams glued together and stuff. Yeah, you're going to get some run out on that. But something like this, it shouldn't be a big mess, in my opinion. Some people, well, like I said, I didn't bother to glue all this. It was more glue than I wanted to wipe. I didn't find it necessary with the type of fastener for some reason. So, now, I'm setting the board here. There we go, we're down. Wipe those fingers. Now the first thing I need to do here is set me up flush on the back side here. There we go. Needs to go this way, definitely. She's gonna go right like that. There we go. And yes, I have a little run on it, just like I was expecting. But it's all laid out already. And it's squeezed out, it ain't run out, it ain't dripping down the whole finish and stuff. That's what I'm talking about. I see it starting already, so there we go. Take that off. That off. I got that sun coming right through the window of my eyes, so I really got to double check. Alright. So it looks good for my house. I don't know what time I'm going to say that, I don't know. And she looks pretty good right there. How do I look over on this edge? Should I look over? Nope, I'm good on this edge. So. Let's clamp it. There's one side. Really light. Clamp on the other side. Really light. There we go. There we go. Yep. I like it. Just a little more bite on it so it don't go nowhere. As I said, this ends up now. So, let's start in center. Boom, right there. Now I made a comment before, and now you're going to get to see it. The first thing we're going to get is some piece. I don't have it here. A piece of cardboard that will fold in half. I did have one. I swear I said I was going to get myself all ready for this video. Didn't I say that? Well, I've got no short pieces, but got a dustpan. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back with y'all. Sorry. There's a piece. Oh, I had one here. This one. The trash can squeeze it in. Here we go. And a piece of cardboard like that. This old Gatorade crate. I don't drink Gatorade personally, but it was some cardboard that I picked up. That overhangs right here, so when I start drilling, and I take my little whisk broom and my dustpan, I can keep a handle on it. That's something else. I got some sawdust sitting around here, which sticks to your feet, that whenever you walk around. So anyway, you can clean it out. I realize I just bumped the camera. Let me see what I can see now still. Yeah. You can see all the way back over to that bracket. Let me move this back a little bit. There we go. Apologize about that, guys. Yeah, it looks like that might put us a little more in focus. I don't know. I can see both clamps just on the edge. I didn't use the wide thing, the wide setting, but we're good. Let me just double check. Where'd my tape measure go? Let me set this right where I'm going to be drilling and check this camera. Yeah, cool. Alright. Here we go. Cardboard. Catch the dust. Helps you stay tidy. whisk broom on hand, everything. I'll try to keep this as neat as possible because bottom line, it's a lot of drilling. Here we go. Most guys just start just on the one, and there you go. If I didn't have the clamp set the way I did, I would have did just that. But so we're just hurrying to get this done here. Pinch my screw. Sit right in the center. There we go. Had to do that little snug. Had to push that in. Here we go. So far, we're looking good. Nothing needs to be moved. Right on. There we go. So over here. If this is oak, a hardwood, I won't be drilling this many holes so fast as this little thing because by now that bit would be blazing. And you must be clear to see what was just going to throw, see how that piece underneath I'm drilling is going to add. I already know this wood on top. And as we're drilling, right here on this last one that you're watching me drill, that's where the 3-inch screw stops about a 1/2 inch before the hole. Here we go. And there's that part that's up, as you know. So this side's clamped down. This is what we'll be pulling down the whole screw. I'm trying not to drill too deep in this wood on the parts that I'm pulling down, because when it pulls down, it's going to bite in. That's what I'm doing here. And why I'm talking about that, get back, but go, lay down. Sorry, talking to my dog. All right, we got this. That's the first one laid out. Where'd my little whisk broom go? There it is. Stick this one under, this one here. As you see, I just put that on that cardboard that you watch me pick up, because if not, she can be a bit messy, as woodworking is. Alright, now let's lay our screws down. So, Turn it. Hit sideways. See, those deck mates are running way down and biting. They're really good. I really appreciate them. They twist right in. They bite down. They really do. I highly recommend them. That and these Torx heads. Boy, have we come a long ways in fasteners. So I remember when these are not heard of. Fanciest thing out there was an Allen head. Some guys may remember them. And you always had those fancy fasteners on the, which are terrible, on the RVs. It's a special bit. The back in the day, nobody had. Today, a lot of people have them. So, now, you all watch me bite this first one down. Now that I know that's not going to flex, I'm going to go step on the other side of this board and watch what I got, because I prefer, now that I got this side sitting down, yeah, it'll press down just fine, as I knew it would. We're going to have to pull the clamp. There's no reason to have it down there. Got the clamp pulled. And 2, 3, 2, 4. This is the one that's up the highest, so that's what I'm gonna run to. Go step on it. Yeah, there it is. So I have my feet up in the video, but I'm gonna step right down on that, and that's gonna fire down perfect. Oh. There's the one. This wood does have a little split with it, and it's okay. Welcome to working with wood. It's just what it is. All in all, it's awesome. There's enough fasteners on there to handle it. And as you saw, just like here, I'm stepping down. And that's when I'm firing down. I'm coming back and hitting the other two. Bring that back up because I didn't get to see it. Didn't need to do that. There it is, she's fired down. Let's set this other one up in here. Alright. And there's our first one down. Alright. That wasn't too bad, huh? Okay. Let me get my dust back up off this piece of cardboard. I didn't have to pull it to full, but there wasn't much dust as I thought there was going to be. Alright. Drop a window here. And that's the roughing of it. There it is. She's fired in. Yes, there's a little split right there, and I'll come back and I will refill that. I kind of saw that in the wood, and I was expecting that, and it's okay. I'll do is let that set long enough, and I'll put some tape along both sides of that, and I will, if it even really concerns me, I might just drop some stain on it, to tell you the truth, but I could actually let the glue seep down there, lightly sand it off, and bring it full, but as many deck screws are in that thing, and as well fired down as it is, it's just a little pedestal. It's not going anywhere. I can look at it all day long with the list of stuff I got to do. Yeah, it'd probably stay like that. We'll figure it out. But back in the day, that would have ruined my day. But like I said, I was able to, as I was putting this together, I was able to get close enough looks at it where I noticed, yeah, it might just split. And a lot of times I have another crack in this one here that I fixed, but that same split's over in that piece of wood too, and I don't care. Like I said, this video is anything but professional. And this video is mostly made to encourage others. I remember I didn't know how to do none of this stuff, and I still, like I said, a cabinet maker and stuff, could probably tell me about all kinds of stuff. That, like, oh, okay. I've met some very brilliant people, some awesome woodworkers, run torches, wood grain, the Japanese stuff, really cool. The school bus, man. But here we go. First one's fired in. I'm thinking you're getting the gist of it. Let's, so I know for my own good what I'm playing with. I'm going to turn this camera a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Let me pull 2 of these boards. Then I'll do just what I said. So I got some standing room. Okay. I already know I'm going to have to move this one just to start with, so I will. Move him over. And I really do appreciate everybody who's tuned in to watch this video or watches this at a later date. And I apologize because I got some stuff still to do, but I just did want to share that so you guys can watch it go together. I showed up more than once, running my mouth alive. Let me set the screws here. Let me set these here because we're fixing to do this. My drill's right there. The other ones are quick. That's why. Boom, boom, boom. And my piece of cardboard. Yeah. And then I'll move the camera. So right, because they're fixing to walk through this till we get to the other side. Then there's all those drillings again, the clamping and the drilling, but it'll be all right. We're gonna do the other one kind of backwards, but it'll be all right. I'll also take the clamps over there now. I don't need that. I don't need the square. Trying to think if there's anything else. No, let me just move this camera so I can see what you're looking at. Okay. There's the second one, and here's my opening. Yeah. We'll walk back over here. Oh, a piece of cardboard. That's it. Just push it right under it. What I've done is I went and I moved a couple of those pieces so I can just stand right in front of this thing and shoot the back and just push down on this side. Like I said, the setup and starting the first one is always the hardest. And just so I'm not running around here trying to reach for anything now. So this back here, here's my drill. Alright, now we just need to glue. Let me start this one where we're going to want it. We're going to want it about like that from the looks of it. Let me stick them there. Yeah. Go ahead and stick both sides. Like I said, this project was interesting when I got started, and I could have did a better job, but this is just a centerpiece that I went to throw together. Let me flip this up in case it's blocking. It shouldn't be, but it might be. Is that blocking? Let me look in this camera and see what I can see. Oh no, you guys can see. Good. I have a little holder on this phone. I was worried about it getting in the way here. Well, from what I'm seeing, that's pretty flush. We're just a little out. Oh, there it is. Well, we ain't out no more. Let me shut up. Yeah, we good. And we all good there. Good. That covers up most. We're good. Let's me get my pencil. What I'm going to do is mark how far to smear the glue. There that is. And when I said glue, it's the glue rag. You talking about? There it is. Right by my feet. Oh, it's close. Alright. Now that we've done this, remember what I said about not using a lot of glue? Don't need it. Some people would probably ask me why I wasted my time gluing this. Just, well, because it's in the center, I'd like to have as much bonding surface as I could. Otherwise, I wouldn't have did it either. I'll say that. That's a good place to leave that. Yeah. Those glues. I'm glad I put this glue by the heater, man. It's at a nice workable temperature. Let me flip this. Sorry. I'm serious. This looks like I'm wasting a lot of time. I'll tell you something. This keeps us from being all over the place. And I can't say you won't get no run out, but not like I've seen other people do. Got a hair up in there. Pull that too. I've worked with some people before that, man, could they use some glue? It's good to glue something down, don't get me wrong, man, but your time's money too, man, and you know that glue costs money. And when you got that stuff running all over, you definitely just used way too much. Number two, you gotta go through and clean that up, wipe all that stuff off. Now, I don't like to make things hard on myself. There we go. We got this tacking up. When she's tacking, I can't say there won't be no run out because that's pretty good and wet. I'm smearing it on the other piece to help suck it up. There we go. She's biting, and you can feel it's getting tacky. That wood's starting to go, which always gives you a better bond. That's kind of another reason I do this. Let it tack into the wood a little bit. Let it go ahead and tack into the wood a little bit. I'm trying to keep the finish out of the glue, in case you're wondering what I'm doing. I'm lining it up so I'm not moving it all over. There we are. Well, so much for not moving it all over. But, and there it is. Hey, man, that looks like that's going to work. Let's stick some fasteners in it and see what we got. That, hate to say it, but that looks really good. I mean, hate to brag, but that looks really good on my joint right there. It really does. That actually right where it's supposed to be. So, you hit this one. Get my screws here. Like I said, let's go ahead and get this party started. That looks like where I want it. Let me just double check everything else. Yeah, that's where I want it. Oh, here we go. There's one. Let's go ahead and run that down. Then we're going to do this other corner right over here to make sure we stay straight. Square, straight. I think you know what I'm saying. Sorry. There it is. That's that flat bite. It pulled it right down. It's a little, oh man, I'm ready to just bang screws. I got a pre-drill. There we go. Now we're pushing aside right here. Just like I made this thing go together. Go. There we go. Let's suck that down. Now. Yeah. Let me set right up on this. Well, that's exactly what I want to do is I want to stand right on this corner. Yep. I'm going to pull it down. As I said, I didn't want to drill that too deep because when this screw sucks down, it will pull into that wood. It's only pine. I want to see where I'm screwing. There, did you see that movement? Yeah. I pulled it right down. Let me back it up one. Yeah. I'm just getting rid of any air that the thread might be holding in between there, any kind of gap air. There we go. There it is. And that's sucked in. How bad did that bury? Not bad at all. It's in there a little bit. I could have did that a little bit less, but now we're going to go do the other side. I'm sorry. Is this one up? Yep, this one's up too. There's that bow. Sometimes it's just these big box stores, it's hard to get away from it in the lumber because half the time they don't tarp the stuff up. I know this for a fact. Not saying that's the case in this, I'm just saying half the time they don't. The drivers. There we go. I sucked it right down. Whoa. Pulled down. Let me grab my little broom. What was supposed to be right here? There it is. When I tossed it out the window there. Alright. Really glad. Can't tell you how relieved I am to be getting this all done. Yeah, and all that talk about not having the glue run out, I gotta lift this up real quick, because I got glue run out. But boy, if I wouldn't have did it that way, I would have saw it. I'm gonna say, both sides I got it running out. That's that gap. I'm really thinking that's that gap that helped do that. But it'll be all right. There we go, got that off that finish. Now let me get that side. Now you understand why I wanted the rag so bad. This side almost nothing. Other side I can't say so much, but hey, it is what it is. This is why we do this. And this is why I was taught to check it. Like I said, if I hadn't taken the care to do that, I'd have hate to cleaned up that mess. It had like 4 runs in it. Sorry I didn't put the camera on it. What I was talking about, I think everybody's seen glue run out between 2 pieces of wood before. Next thing I just want to check is the inside. Oops. Let me just look under there real quick. No, we're good. Nothing that's gonna waste will break my heart anyways. So those 2 shot, let's go ahead and part of me just wants to tack the rest of this thing down first and then drill it because I already got it hit on the center. I know it, but let me just go ahead and do it right while I'm here. It'll be alright. Those I drilled just a little bit deeper because they're not having to pull down. We're almost done. There we go. That's why this round I got nothing on the cardboard, so yeah. Alright. 2, 3, and 4. Here we go. Let's bang them up and get this next one laid up. There we go. cool. Nope, I'm good with all of that. Sweet. All right. This next one's even quicker. Only two bangs. It don't get easier than that. Just the biggest thing on center in it, and my rag. There we go. Let's. This one back a minute. Remove that camera and watch this happen. There's my brush. Like I said, really enthused about getting this done. Let me move this camera real quick. Make sure we can get the next shot in here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. And we can move it back just a little bit. There we go. Let me hope y'all can see that. I'm really happy to be getting this done. I waited a long time to have this done. I have so much other stuff to do. I'm just glad to. Part of me wasn't going to share this, and I said, "Nah, go ahead and share it real quick." Like I said, the biggest thing is just don't put too much glue down. Don't make a big mess you have to clean up. And it looks like I did a better job laying that one. Like I said, I was really surprised what I had to clean up on the last one. And it wasn't a lot. It's just, I didn't expect it to run out like that. Part of it was that gap, I think. It wasn't sitting flat and it poured out it. I don't know. I didn't think I put that much down. That's all I'm trying to say. But I put less down this time. Yeah, there we go. That's smeared in nice. You smear this one up in nice. That's the biggest thing. You can smear it into the wood and get it tacky. That's what you want to do. And this side's a little rough. Just a light bead. Like I said, here, let me hold it in that way. Just a light bead, man. I got more on the piece underneath that, but that's tacky already. There we go. That might just a little more, but I mean just a little too. I'm saying that's it. See that line of tack right there? There we go. Because it's on that board underneath already. That's what I'm planning. This one a little more too, just so you see a little more. There you go. And it ain't all running all out and it's penetrated into that wood good. And that's that grain today. I was really sanded. The rough grain, so to speak. I got the blanket. I said blanket. I'm sorry. I got a really good coat down here that's already tacky. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm just splitting the difference going on this wood right here. And yeah, that's exactly how I wanted to lay that one. There's a couple grain pieces in here I wanted to make sure that I had them the same. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I want. Yep. Changed my mind. No, I'm going to keep it that way. Alright. I'm looking at my grain markings, how it looks, and those actually line up better. If I'm not making any sense, well, I'm just being picky. Well, let me say it that way. Being funny in how I want to lay it out to make it look. Like I said, at least I tried. That's funny. That's got a weird movement to it. and he's pulled down. Maybe not. Maybe it was just me, but let's see. Oh, she's in. She definitely pulled that in. Let me see if I gotta pull this one up. No, that'll go in. Yeah, that corner did sink in. It sure did. I knew I felt something. Just enough. Let's go ahead and drill this one. Yeah, we'll pull this side down first because it's a little wonky. Maybe not. Let's see. Yeah, it's down. Yeah, that had a nice bite. Just sucked it right up. There we go. This. That one really bit. So now, I just probably got enough to throw out the window now. I do. Get back up over the cardboard and sweep it off. I hate picking up sawdust too much all day, especially with gaps and stuff. But I don't know, like I said, it ain't perfect, but it's not terrible. And that's pretty well what I was trying to achieve. A halfway decent look without spending a whole lot of money. But I can't say it didn't take some time, let me tell you. Better shoot this other one. There we go. Oh, looks like I need to move the cam a little bit. Hey Bear, you itching? Go. Sorry buddy, we're almost done. Go. Go lay down. Good boy. Alright. Lay out this next one. Alright. Even that one's a little wonky, but it's all good. Sorry, I got all the tools and screws and all that in the camera angle. Okay, one more time, just a light, I mean a light little dab. Especially after having to clean up that last one. And speaking of that, yeah, that one's okay. But yeah, I just hate wiping off a bunch of glue, man, because it's very unproductive and hey, it costs money too, right? Yeah, well, I want it to stick. Well, if it's not on the material, how did it stick? It all ran out. So, that might tell you there's something wrong. That might tell you there's something wrong with that thought. Yeah, there we go. There's just a nice little thin coat sitting on it right now. And it's tacking as we speak. I'm just gonna put the same thing on the back, right here. On the back side of this, because that's how I want it to be. I'm looking at which way I'm gonna lay a knot here. Yeah. Let me see what that looks. Yeah. Yeah, nothing, right? Yeah, I'm thinking I'm really wanting to turn this around. I really am. It's just the ends are the ones that are sanded on the round, so this side don't matter, by the way. I just want to see how I like that. Looking at the boards it's matching up to. Yeah, I think I like that a whole lot better. Yeah, we'll go that way. As y'all see, there's, I don't know if I'm in the camera site right now, so I'll pick this up and move it one time. I've already put a thin layer on it, as you watched. Right there's like called just a little bit. Like I said, this finish is still soft, so I'm being careful with what I'm doing, but yeah. So that's, yeah. Smear that around. I can use it to dab more, but it pulled right into that wood. Like I said, there's already a nice little layer right there. So when I say a little more, that's what I do. I'm sure the glue manufacturer hates me right now. Don't tell them that. But it's got nice paste, and that's what really matters. It's got a nice little pasty film. And do the other side just as well. Like I said, kneeling down because I can't see the camera. But there's one run of it. Smear it in. It's pretty well sucking in the wood right now. But you get the gist of it. There it is, pulling in. And when you're rubbing it, what you feel is you feel it almost dry up. It just tacky. And that's how I leave my glue. And like I said, you see how little that is. Well, that's going to smear clear to the end because it's wet now. And it's pulling in right in with that tacky. There we go. Set that a second. Check on the side. There we go. I didn't quite. Let me check where I'm laying this. Yeah. Where I'm laying it actually can use a little more, but everything else is pretty tacky. When I say a little more, it's where I missed it. That's all. I didn't go all the way over my pencil edge, is what I'm trying to say when I missed it. There we go. But no, that's good and tacky. Not runny, but it's actually pulled into the wood, and that's what we're talking about. Well, let me make sure I still got this thing set right. I do. Let's drop it. There we go. Set her in. And yeah, there's a little walk on this one too, but it's alright. Let's go back to this corner, because that's how I've been doing every one of them. Square them off on this corner. Yeah. And for what it's worth, when I just moved that was nice and tacky. You could hear it almost pull. Let me screw up in that one. All right. Corners down. Just put a little mark in there I gotta fix. I hate it when I do that. No problem. What happens when you don't pay attention? Here we go. Just put a little dimple in it. No big deal. Covered up the stain. Broke the stain layer is what I'm trying to say. Wasn't in such a hurry I'd take the camera down and show you what I gotta fix. Don't got to, but what I will. As I'm drilling all these holes, I'm going to cover them up with, oops, I bring him back and stick one more. There we go. There it is. That pulled in a little better. These holes I just drilled, when I start to cover those in stain, that little dimple will get covered where it just broke varnish. Not that it really matters. It probably wear right back in, but there we go. Now, back to what I was working on. Let me take a screw stuff over there too. A screw gun and everything. As you saw, that was kind of springy going in. We're going to clip that down right now. Yep. there it is. Let me stand on that puppy. And this is just how I like to do it. Other people might say, no, you fasten them down one by one. I don't agree. I've had it actually be terrible when I did it that way. Just my experience. I don't know. No. This one's already down, but we'll go ahead and fire him next too. Yep. Run him in. You saw that pull in, right? I don't know, my foot was probably in the way. Well, it sucked it right down. A lot more than I thought it was going to. It really did, but yeah. Alright, there's the crack that I fixed, and yeah, it's still there. I mean, I fixed it, it's got glue in it, but yeah, it's still there. Now, let's see if I mark something and pressed up against there. This come out great being pressed up against this and up this. I want to check my last piece, how it's going to play out. But I'm probably going to go ahead and shoot my last piece on this and shoot this all at once. But first of all, let me check for glue run out. Now these last two I did. Oops. What's on this side? Nothing? Oh, there's a little. On that small board, the first one I did there, just a little on the seam where I sanded it. This one somewhat. It's all good. Yeah, that gap that I talked about, that's exactly where it came from. Alright. Very good. And there we go. For what it's worth, for anybody out there who's wondering, I rounded the edges of this thing so I could do just what you saw me do. Let's put this last board on here, and hopefully this hasn't been too boring. Go. Good boy. After the sets on here, how'd they come out? It came out awesome for some hillbilly in a bus. I'm really pleased with it. I'll show you in just a minute. I'm just ecstatic we got that done, but the same method we did before, we're going to do reverse. We're going to shoot this end down first, and then we're going to clamp this to pull it down. And we're going to go ahead and, I probably could step, but yeah, I got to do a reverse on that. But it's okay, it'll work. Yeah, let's get this done. Let me just go ahead and shoot these other two now I'm on as well. Very happy. This day is finally here, man. I can't believe I finally got this done. Man, I'm wondering if that cover's in the way of the camera lens, is it? No, that's cool. Yeah, good. Well, what I will say off the top, just when I walk on it, it's very stiff. And so we like that already. That was the goal. Won't be doing a lot of walk on it, but the point strength, it's got a lot of strength already. And I just did, when I boxed it, what they watched earlier, those two little pieces across. And like I said, these fasteners and gluing it, I tried not to make this thing too heavy. I didn't want to have to put a lot of reinforcement in there, but I was considering taking another 2x4 and laying it across the bottom here and screwing screws in from the back side to keep it back and forth, but I don't think it needs it. And that costs money for the wood, and takes time, and makes it heavier. Not really good. Not a desired result. And this last side, I'm really happy with how it sets. Let me go ahead and drop some glue on this and get this done so I can show you and quit running my mouth. Very, very pleased. That's how it came out. I'm sure you guys don't want to hear me talk about how much more glue I'm putting on this, how little glue I am anymore. I think I've beat that horse enough. You guys know the routine. And if you're one of those guys that want to smear glue all over the place, hey, have at it. God bless you. I hate being the guy having to clean that up. And like I said, I worked and helped a couple of guys that were really good. But they're like, yeah, let's glue this thing up. And man, I'll tell you what, part of gluing up with them, you was wiping everything down. Because man, my gosh, they pretty well, just for lack of better words, I'd have to say they pretty well baptized the project in the glue. Does that make sense? There you go. That's the best thing, man, I'll tell you what. That just came to me, but yeah. Yep. Hope I just didn't offend anybody. Just wow. And that's the thing today, is not saying anybody here would be, but people can be easily offended. So I still gotta move that camera, man. To make sure y'all can see what I'm doing. I gotta move this platform. Now, let me turn that a little bit more. I apologize, guys. There we go. We'll set it. Let me just move it over one. How's that? Hey, ain't that a nice drill? The wood glue and everything else. Yeah, that. I hope that helps. There we go. All right. I was going to say something else, but I forget now. Oh. That's the bevel budge I did with the sander. No router or nothing like that. I just sanded the edges. That's why you can look at this thing and tell it's homemade. Let me just say that. I'm not saying that in a bad way, but it definitely wasn't run through a precision table and a router, and here we go, we're gonna do this. Nah. Oh. And had I had more time, and sorry, if I had more time and wasn't so distracted saying busy with everything else, life, I would have, probably could have, but I chose not to, and I don't think it doesn't look too bad. I mean, a lot of the stuff, like I said, that Japanese furniture they build with no nails, that's amazing. And back in the day, they just put stuff over stuff to cover it. And before all this fancy molding machines and all this stuff, and the biggest, in my eyes, the biggest thing is that it's strong and it holds together. That's what I'm concerned about. And it looks decent. Kind of like I said in the beginning, kind of looks like that old colonial furniture. There we go. Yeah, there's my tack I was just talking about. Got it on this side too. All right. Check where I'm laying it. Set a minute. And hopefully all this tacked up too. Yeah. Yeah, it did. Maybe I'll let that glue up off there. Let the glue up off you. See where else I need to see her. Nope, that looks about it. That'll do her. Alright, get my beveled edge, my sanded edge out. Okay, get up out the way here. Fingers out the way, rather. Now I'll tell you what. That's a really nice fit. I'm really, really pleased with all that. I know I've said that more than once, but when I look back, that's actually right. Well, I'll be. That looks great. All right. Well, boy, Ollie, let's do this. Well, let me get my screws. We're fixing to finish it. Here we go. Alrighty. Alright. Let's just stick this one in right here. Yeah. Well, that looks pretty good. There's that first tap. Like I said, as wonky as this is, we're gonna drive one immediately. I don't know if you can see that right, but if you can't see it, let me assure you it's there. Now I'm gonna push right up into here, and there we go. And then we'll just go right to that side. You know the drill. And move right back in. Make this happen. Awesome. All right. Yeah. Yeah, it's looking like I need clamps, all right. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. What that? Not bad, that could happen. All right. Yeah, I could step on it in the center, but yeah, I don't think I want to do that. My clamps. I got them under the table. Guys, I'm sorry, I'm kind of discombobulated on what I did with those clamps. Imagine that. No, I didn't leave them under. All right, they're there, hidden in plain sight. That's where I hid them. All right. That one right back off. Get this right over the screw hole while I'm doing this. There we go. I'm gonna have to go back and put the stain on it anyway, so I might as well put it right back over the screw hole. There we go. Yeah, she's popping a little bit. I'm putting my weight on it, and that's a good thing. There it is, it drew up. All right, let's get that center one. Oh. Screw right up in there. There we go. All right. Drill these out. Go. Let's get this party started. Alright. This. I got my cardboard right underneath me. Oh, I did miss just a little bit. Go catch him up. Put you right to there. And there's the brunt of it. Oh, we throw this stuff out right before it's everywhere. And it's getting about feeding time for the animals. We're wrapping this up just in time. Let me just set that there. Throw it up. Next, let me grab these screws so I can end this live chat and go take care of animals. Yay. Yep. As you heard, that thing bit right in. Pulled itself out of the torque going down. That's funny. Let's just grab this one. Couple more screws, and this is a good way to kill a box of deck screws. A pound of deck screws. Whew. Yep. That one. And last but not least, our corner. I'll step down and pull down enough. Looks beautiful from here, from my house. I'm very pleased. It is what it is. And finally, this day is upon me. You don't know how much I waited for this day to get this done in between. Between the weather, Need materials, needing to wait for this to dry, that to dry. It's been very challenging, but today it's going to be another cold night, freezing, but hey man, I knew it was coming. I spent some extra time just laying coats of stain, because as you see, one's darker, one's lighter. Some of these got more coats of stain on it. It's the same wood, and yeah. That's all there is to say about it, man. God's good all the time. Let me shoot this one up in here. That's some type material there. I think there might have been a little bit of a knot there. Because that one just drove right in. That one there made me hunker down on it. So, there we have it. Let's check for glue. Let's check for glue one more time. Slip it up and check for glue. I'm really glad I didn't glue those fronts like the plan was. Yeah. All in all, it's pretty awesome. Let me check underneath. Yeah, I might have just a little spill out there. I mean, almost nothing. Here, I'll tell you what. You've heard me all talk about the glue and all that I did so much. Let me pull this cam. I'm just really needing to hurry. Let me show you what I'm talking about. At the end of the day, that's what I got to use now. You see what I'm saying? Even that's a bit much. The rest of it was actually less, except the first one, and that was because there's a gap. But see, I need to wipe that off that finish. But here, I'm getting in the gap right there. It's not giving me a hard time coming up. I'm getting actually right in that little gap right there, because that's as you watch. Where I step down, and there might be that. And there's a corner that I rounded, so I could do that, kind of like that old colonial furniture. And inside, let's just take a look. Stain. That little bit of white right there, that's blue. This right here is where I didn't stain. I see the pencil line? That's where I taped it off. We taped that off to get a glue bond. And that's what I didn't choose to do. I'm sorry. Well, you really can't see that. There we go. To the cross member right here. The only bit of glue, and one more time, that's not oozing out. That's a bare spot with the wood to glue to, which I will put a coat of glue, put a coat of stain on, just cover it up at a later date. Not now. And okay, let me just flip this around. Oh, that's right. Here, let me I was going to take this time to sweep all up and stuff. To at least show you what it looks like back down, even though if you've watched me put it together, you've probably got a pretty good idea. Let me set this camera down real quick. Okay, so that number one. There's the wheel wells done, and this whole thing was done. So when I wanted to get through here, or just wanted to change the design, I wasn't stuck with a big platform across, but I do have the wheel wells encased. Probably making somebody motion sick. I got the wheel wells encased. There we go. Next project is a Murphy bed in this thing. That ought to be pretty cool. I'll keep you posted. Let me drop this so you can see it. Okay. Sorry about that. It's not exactly light. I'm glad that it came out so solid. Part of me wanted to split it in two, but I'm glad I didn't do that. That would have been a bad idea. Now as you said, you can see where it's been sanded between. Here, I'm going to show you in just one second. Where it's been rounded with the sander. It was rounded all right there, and that one right there is just not rounded the same. That's what I'm talking about. But hey, I don't know, I like it. And I will come up with a way to lock it down in here too. I just haven't done that yet. I had a different idea and I hated it once I got thinking about it, but it will secure itself down so if it's ever driven. But the biggest point is there we go. It can be pulled, the bed can be laid down on there, whatever. And there's a way to come up with an interlocking spacer right in between there where I'm pointing my toe. And let me flip this camera around. And God bless everybody. That was almost an hour and a half of watching paint dry. And man, I'll tell you what, I need to go feed some animals. The sun's going down here and they're looking for me. So with that being said, God bless. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.